Hey guys, it's Rich with your Monday Spot in Pagan Perspective. This week we're discussing Scott Cunningham. Hopefully I can get through this in one take because I have not been able to do so yet. So, basically, this reads, I was wondering, since you have already discussed other pagan authors and figures like Laurie Cabot, Silver Ravenwolf, and Raymond Buckland, what is your take on Scott Cunningham? A lot of people I have talked to and have seen online highly recommend his books, and I've recently picked up his books Wicca, a guide for a solitary practitioner, and Living Wicca, a further guide for the solitary practitioner. Still reading the first one. Also, I was wondering if any of you here on this channel have ever read Wicca for Beginners by Thea Sabin. I personally found this book very helpful and very engaging, but not many people, or so I assume, have read it. So if any of you have, what did you think of it? Thank you very much. Always much love and light to TsukiyoSpelldust. I'm going to call you Spelldust. Anyway. And, so anyway, I'm going to answer the second question first. No, I have not read that book. The Wicca for Beginners by Thea Sabin. I believe it's actually one that is on my reading list. I have a large reading list. A lot of them are beginner books and stuff that I really already know. It's just that I'm thinking of doing a blog or writing a book or a degree type program. I don't even know what to call it. So I'm actually thinking of doing like an educational study type thing while I'm in Korea. So it'll be a year of me like blogging and stuff like that. So if you guys are interested, please say so in the bottom bar, because I don't want to write like, you know, a mad person and have it go out into the internet and nobody ever read it. So it's kind of just a waste of my time type thing. But if you would totally read that blog, let me know, because that would actually get my butt in gear to actually start prepping it. So whenever I get over there around October, November time frame, I can actually go into it full swing. So, that's actually one of the books on my reading list, I do believe. I don't have it yet. It's one of the ones that I have to order. I kind of need money for that, so yeah. For a poor, lowly military member here, money's kind of tight. So, yeah. One of the books on my reading list, I'll probably order it through Amazon either while I'm here or over in Korea. So that is a book that I will end up reading so that I can, you know, reacquaint myself with, you know, how to discuss beginning a path rather than, hey, you guys know what's up and, yeah, this is how I practice. So, yeah, we're kind of at the intermediate stage, I guess, on this channel. Not really beginner stage anymore, if we ever were. I don't really recall. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to be reacquainting myself with some of these books that are beginner books. So, yeah. Anyway, enough of that. Scott Cunningham, our main topic today. The first portion of the question. So, I wanted to do a small recap on, I'm literally reading off of Wikipedia. So, born in 1956, died in 1993. He was one of 3 children, middle child. And he was actually friends with, or he was a roommate with Donald Michael Craig. I hope I'm saying that right. If you're actually watching this, awesome, for one. For two, I hope I said your name right and I don't offend you. Because that guy has written a wonderful book called Modern Magic. If you have not read it, it's kind of like Kabbalah type. Really good exercises in there. A great explanation to things. I've referenced his book, not actually read it all the way through, like from cover to cover, but great reference material. Love to go back and forth to that book to bump ideas and stuff like that. So, he was roommates with Donald Michael Craig, and often socialized with Raymond Buckland, another figurehead in the pagan community. So how could somebody that was a roommate of one and socialized with another, how could this person not become a pagan figurehead? He was also took training under Raven Gramassi in 1980, and remained as the first degree initiate until 1982 when he left to pursue a solitary role. After that, it doesn't really give much detail. So, anyway, from what I read about what his sister, his younger sister, has written about him, it was in Christopher Penczak's book, Magical Ancestors, something like that. It's another good book that goes through like different authors and different magical members or pagan figureheads throughout like the last, I think it's 100 years or so, and little excerpts that people have written about them. So, awesome book if you want to learn little snippets of people's lives. Awesome. So anyway, his sister actually wrote the excerpt that's in this book, and she said that whenever he really took to writing Wicca, A Guide for a Solitary Practitioner, that he actually got death threats, because back then Wicca was, you are part of a coven. It was not really heard of that you go out and you are a solitary practitioner. You were part of a coven, and if you weren't, you were not Wicca. So yeah, that set off a firestorm within the pagan community that, hey, you can actually practice a solo practice, like all by yourself type thing. It was unheard of. It wasn't something that was ever really done or spoken about. He got death threats. Obviously, none of them actually, came to fruition. So we're all happy about that. But yeah, he did the Wicca, A Guide for a Solitary Practitioner, and then followed up with Living Wicca, a further guide for the solitary practitioner. And he actually published many books after that. Even after his death, he published a number of books. Let's see, he did The Truth About Witchcraft, Hawaiian Magic and Spirituality, Pocket Guide to Fortune Telling, Dreaming the Divine, and the only actual book that I have read of his, Cunningham's Book of Shadows, A Path for the American Traditionalist. I have gotten a guide for a solitary, or Wicca, Guide for a Solitary Practitioner. I just got that in the mail like this past week, so I will be reading that. I already have it packed and ready to ship to Korea, so yeah, I'll probably be reading that like in October whenever I get over there. So yeah, stuff like that, that's what I'm going to be reading whenever I first get over there. That type of thing. So anyway, yeah, I have read one of his books, and again, great reference book, put out after he died. Just like my man Johnny Cash, kept on working even after he died, so kudos. Awesome. And I have really nothing bad to say about the guy. He lived to write. That's what he loved to do. He actually, as far as his sister has said, that was his one regret, is that he did not get to finish all the writing projects that he wanted to finish before he died. And he had like an autoimmune disease or something like that. So, yeah, that's basically all that I have on Scott Cunningham. I highly recommend his books. I think he's well thought out. He, at least from the one book that I've read so far, he's well thought out. He's, pretty easily, he's pretty easy to read. Raven Gramassi, I have read some of his books. I, touched on him a little bit earlier. I have read some of his books. Kind of harder to read, and I guess like Christopher Penczak would be in the middle type thing. But Scott Cunningham, he's one of those easy read type books. Not like it's dumbed down or fluffy bunny type, just an easy read. Doesn't get too technical and doesn't have too much double talk in there. So, awesome. Those are the kind of books I dig. Anyway, the video's getting a little long. I'm going to try to edit it down as much as possible. And until next week, I'll see you guys next week with another topic. Until then, love, hugs, and ladybugs. Bye-bye.